Hello, guys. It is Nerdquest Podcast number 10. Josh, we're in double digits.
We're in double digits. High five! I'm excited.
We're moving on up. All right.
I know.
Yeah. All right. To the east side. That's an 80s TV reference. You probably won't get it.
I won't.
Anyway. Yeah. So number 10. Before we start, as always, got to remind you we're not affiliated with the Nerdquest indie movie coming out. We're just your typical nerd podcast. Talk about nerdy things, all about the nerdverse.
Nerd.
As always, we have me, Jacob, leading you, and
Josh, a.k.a. Zorgulon, Destroyer of Worlds.
Yes, he leads the fictitious part of this podcast.
Woo!
We have a full roster today. We have two guests returning. We have
one returning guest.
Poche La Poche, YouTube storage.
Pockets.
If you remember, he's from our Cyberpunk versus Steampunk podcast.
Yes. He was defending Cyberpunk.
It's still legitimate business.
You fool!
Oh.
And then we also have a new guest, someone I've known for a little bit, and he's a pretty nerdy person. He'll definitely be returning, and we have
Tyler, a.k.a. TySap. You might know me from my weekly reports, even though I haven't done one.
Yeah, you haven't done one in a while, but we're supposed to do a crossover.
Get on that, bitch!
Sorry.
We're supposed to do that eventually. Today seems fitting since it just ended last week. E3. Now, for you those who don't know what E3 is, first, while you listen to this podcast, leave. Go do some research.
Ouch.
And E3 is the biggest gaming convention of the year, hands down.
Yes.
It unveils everything, what to look forward to in the next year and years to come.
Now, Jake, I know about E3 for the most part, but there's one question I've always had that I can never seem to answer completely.
Yes.
What are the E's?
It's the... I don't know if we're going to get this...
Entertainment Expo.
That's what I was going to say.
I knew there was electronic and expo in there.
Well, I get them mixed up sometimes. I know Expo is the last one, but... yeah.
I knew there was electronic and expo.
I didn't want to say because I didn't want to get it mixed up and get yelled at. But yeah, that's what it's about.
Say about Pockets if you mix it up.
So yeah, it unveils everything. Today, this was a big year. We've gone.
It's also a dark year.
But also dark year. Pretty stressful for a main group of
Ants all
gamers.
over my body.
I broke out hives watching this year. But it's been a while since we've had a next-gen announcement. Yeah. Actually, a serious one. The last one we had was the Wii U.
Yeah.
But
let's be honest.
Wii U.
We'll get to that later in the podcast, because I have a theory on the Wii U.
Oh, God.
And where it's heading.
It's going to start an uprising.
In the future gaming.
We are Nintendo.
But we had a new Xbox and a new PlayStation revealed this year. And it's been, 7 years? Since a new next gen? Anybody know?
It's been a while.
The 360 came out like 06.
Yeah, 06, so yeah,
it's been... because Fallout came out 2 years later.
Yeah, and PlayStation 3 came out a little bit before it. I was in 8th grade when it came out, so that was a while. That's 6 years, actually. 6 years.
Very good lifespan.
Yeah,
that's
PlayStation 3. I've always been an avid PlayStation player, so until I made the crossover recently to 360, but I still love the PlayStation. It'll always hold a spot in my heart. And after this year, it looks like I'll be coming home to the PlayStation.
Looks like I'll be joining you.
Yes, that looks like I'm going to take it as a sign to go back to PlayStation. And there's a reason. There's a reason. Now, Xbox One. We're gonna start it off. We're gonna start it off with the biggest thing of E3. I would say the biggest news and the biggest upset. We had a question about it, right?
We did, and I just put it away.
Way to go, Josh.
Anyway, how do you feel about the rumors of Xbox One games running on a Windows 7 with NVIDIA GTX cards at E3?
Okay, we'll get to that because that's going to add on to what we're talking about.
Thank you, Anonymous.
Yeah, thank you for the question again. Now, Xbox One kind of shot themselves in the foot this year. One with just the way they named it. Already when they revealed it a little bit ago, huh?
Well, no, this is...
Yeah. Before we get into it, we should probably say what we're supporting here, for the most part, just so people know where we're coming from.
Okay, I'm supporting the PlayStation 4. Is that what you meant?
Yeah, Jake supports PlayStation 4. Ty?
I also am going to have to support the PlayStation 4.
There were some awesome announcements for the PlayStation 4 this year that I was very excited for.
Josh don't give a shit, but for the most part, PS4.
Yep.
Pockets?
I will support the Xbox One.
So Pockets going against the grain.
Right back. So we have one guest on.
He's going unpopular opinion right now.
We do have a security guard this time around,
yes,
too, because this is a very emotionally charged podcast for us.
She's not on this podcast specifically because she's not into the big gaming.
She's not
thing.
A gamer.
Yeah, but she is a nerd, and so she's just kind of sitting and seeing how it goes. Say hi to people.
Hi.
That's Erin. That's Erin. She's one of our friends. And
can't wait for the Jaren Shipper to get a hold of that.
Oh, jeez. Yes, I'm sure the Jaren Shipper will go nuts. We'll go into that too
That's
later.
another podcast.
Yeah, that's another podcast. When we talk about shipping. When we talk about shipping.
Hey, that's a good idea. Okay.
Anyway, back on topic.
Yes.
That
topic.
Xbox One. First of all, why name it that?
That, I don't know.
Like I've heard. People are already getting confused because people will talk about the original Xbox. Everybody already calls that the first Xbox or Xbox One, and so that's already confusing me. Now, some people have it nicknamed already, like how
X1.
They just call it the 360. Now they're just calling it the X1.
Yep.
Yeah.
And disappointing this year.
Yeah.
Disappointing.
Very, very disappointing. With Microsoft.
Microsoft, yeah, I don't know what they did. It seems like what they tried to do is they try to move the Xbox One into not only gaming but just an all-around home entertainment system.
Right, being able to Skype and play a game at the same time or use the internet and watch
one's
a movie.
weird.
That I don't really get.
The part I did like is they made I think they made a deal with Twitch TV, which Twitch is our Twitch.com, and it's online where you can stream video games.
Oh, cool.
And the way you play. And so apparently what you can do with the Xbox is while you're playing, you can tell the Xbox to go to Twitch, and you can stream what you're playing almost instantly and upload it, which is cool. But the cons far outweigh the pros for me this year on the Xbox One.
Well, look at it from a home entertainment aspect. You get one box for TV, DVD, Blu-ray, Roku, and a console, and you strike all those from one box.
Yeah,
that saves on cords, powers, everything.
That is nice, but the restrictions they put on the Xbox One this year, or on the Xbox
very,
One,
very limited.
And not to mention, people don't
goes.
usually go to E3 to see an entertainment system.
if they want to go, they go to CES for that. And CES is the whole that's the entertainment portion of it, where they release new technology and stuff like that.
Right.
But this is not a new technology. It's just everything thrown into one.
Which is why it shouldn't have been an E3, and instead should be just a general entertainment system thing.
I feel like what Microsoft did is they bit off more than they can chew with this one. They
tried to do too many new things at once.
Yes, they did. 360 came out, and when it first came out, PlayStation 4 was dominant. PlayStation
4 was
PlayStation 3, sorry. PlayStation 3 was
that
dominant.
PlayStation 3 was this big, massive creature. They had to be like, all right, how are we going to compete?
How are we going to compete with this? But
by being awesome.
But PlayStation's kind of ruled the console universe since the PS2 came out,
Yeah.
and even when the PlayStation 1 was out.
I was a massive PlayStation.
I guess in a way it was time for it to be dethroned, and they did that with the 360.
Yeah, they did.
It slowly happened, though.
Mm-hmm. It wasn't any big, massive thing like PlayStation did with Nintendo.
Now, me being a PlayStation supporter, it's hard. I'll admit that when the 360 came out, it at first it looked like it didn't look good for 360, but then it became superior once they started fixing the bugs in it.
Yeah,
and it dethroned the PlayStation.
If I see a console war in the comments, I will personally come to your house and slit your throat with a spoon. Just getting that out of the way now.
You okay there, buddy?
I hate watching console wars on the internet. They're stupid and pointless. Xbox is better. No, PlayStation's better. No, you're both wrong. I'm gonna kill you both.
Though I think after this E3, it's kind of shown which one's gonna be better this
time around. Yeah.
But I feel like since they were on top of the world already, they literally had everything to lose. And personally, I feel like they lost it this year.
I feel like if PlayStation 4 wants to stay ahead, all they have to do is listen to people.
Yeah,
they literally don't have to do anything else.
That's what they did. I think they saw with the rumors of the Xbox coming out, with the Xbox One and all the restrictions it was going to have with no used games.
Right. And then I was talking with someone that works in Microsoft, and they said that the whole not being able to share games and use used games is they're slowly easing their way into diskless games entirely.
Yeah,
and I have a problem with that because not everyone has. I speak from personal experience. I don't have a consistent internet connection.
You have a terrible internet connection.
I do.
When we play live, it's like every 5 minutes, one of us has to deconnect and then reconnect and join the party. It's really annoying.
Yeah, and so if you're going on diskless and you're just going on download like Steam, for those people who have bad internet connections, it's not going to work out well for them. Like, I have Grand Theft Auto 4 downloaded on my Xbox, and I can play it when I'm disconnected from live. The only problem is, it is so laggy. I'll go about 5 steps, it'll like freeze for about 10 seconds, and then I'll continue to play it, and I'll keep doing that over and over again.
That sounds more like a hardware problem.
That really does, actually.
I feel like...
What Xbox do you have?
Just
like the old white one?
No, I have the Elite.
Yeah, Elites really have gone downhill since their initial release.
Anyway,
yeah. It might be a hardware problem. It's just that whenever it's connected to Xbox Live, and
the quality sucks.
Yeah. Yeah.
But time.
Well, I was thinking that instead of making them downloadable, they should just switch over to flash drives and stuff like that.
See, that could work too.
That could work.
Now, before that's going to lead me to the next question. Do you think with the new gens coming out, games are going to get another price boost?
Yes.
They're already $60, so I imagine it's gonna. I think at the most it'll go up $70.
Yeah, I was.
It'll go up $10 more, which sucks.
Yeah, like right now I don't have a job and I'm looking for one.
Yeah,
and dear God, I am crippled.
But see, that comes with that kind of goes with the used game thing for the Xbox One. People depend on used games.
I do.
Used games
I absolutely
at discount. I still do
it. Once in a blue moon, I will get lucky enough to have enough money to pre-order a game. Like I've done it with Injustice, Fallout New Vegas, Skyrim, and 2 Pokemon games.
The last new game I bought was Minecraft Heart on the disc, and it was only $15.
Yeah,
it wasn't a full retail. But the thing is, this is what's going to drive them out. Is that if you can't buy a used game, you can't afford to buy.
Besides at participating retailers, which really sucks because that'll just jack the price up to God knows how much.
Well, it also might run GameStop almost out of business because they depend in the hierarchy of GameStop. My friend told me this, who works there. They rely on used product, whether it's used games, used system, used accessories, and then it's the new stuff where they make their bonus cash. I guess you would say. And if Xbox One isn't allowing this, that's a huge chunk of money they are losing.
But see, I also from the same source that I heard that works at Microsoft that it's the game coders, the people that make the games, code the discs so that you can't use them on another Xbox. So is it Microsoft that's keeping gamers from sharing games? Or the publishers?
I think I want to say it's Microsoft.
I think it's both.
I would say it's the publishers because Microsoft's there to put out a product. Publishers are trying to get as much money as they can. Not to say Microsoft isn't, but it's still the publishers are the big problem.
But I feel like that because they got to make the deals with the publishers.
Yeah.
And so that Microsoft has. I feel like Microsoft has enough money and power to say like, no, this is not what we want.
And you know what?
And on top of that, if it was the publishers, what about cross-platform games? Why isn't PlayStation 3 offering this or doing this?
Yeah,
that's why I feel like it's Microsoft solely.
I think it's kind of like Microsoft and the publishers go, let's all hold hands and fuck everybody over.
Yeah,
because the publishers encode the discs, but Microsoft can make software that can translate the code.
Yes.
So either way, you're fucked.
What I see happening with the discs, if they do go through this used game thing, and this is what pissed me off about Microsoft. Everyone's in an uproar about this. Like no one's being silent about it. It's all over. It's all over social media,
and they're not doing shit.
They're not doing shit about it. Now, if you're getting this from your fans and you're getting this huge negative, you're getting this huge negative reaction about it. Instead of pushing it forward and be like, "Well, deal with it, tough shit. It's our product." You're supposed to be selling it to the fans. Fix it.
Well, see, that's what I think is they don't really, at this point, I think they knew that everyone would be pissed off at the fact that you wouldn't be able to share games, but they, like I said, they want to move into a completely, entirely new direction with games.
Yeah.
So you would switch over to diskless, and not many people realize that, I think. I didn't even know, I had thought about, what if games went completely diskless, but...
I like the flash drive idea. One, it's going to save up a ton of space too on your shelves and at home anywhere because game.
But still, it is kind of cool to walk into somebody's room and have
see their library.
Yeah, I'm looking over at my game library.
It is pretty impressive.
And you know what? Honestly, the only thing I would like more about flash drive, I don't like the idea of diskless.
Yeah.
The only thing I would like more about flash drive is that discs are really, really fragile.
Exactly.
Flash drives, throw it against the wall, stomp on it, run it over. I've done all of those.
It's not an AK though. It will break.
It takes a lot.
Nokia flash drive.
This is how Nokia gets its money back. Is it starts developing flash drives for games.
Yeah.
Yes.
But yeah, I mean, like I gotta say, there's something impressive about walking in and seeing a library of games. And when I had my PlayStation 3, at my point where I had my most games, I think I had 12 to 15 games, and it was kind of cool to walk into my room, even though I saw it every single day, walk in and see my PlayStation 3 library just sitting there.
Yeah,
and it's like, oh, like that looks cool. I've built up a cool collection, and it's especially when you have games that are a series, like Assassin's Creed. At one point, I had every single Assassin's Creed.
Yeah,
right.
And I had it with my OCD. I had it arranged to where it went from Assassin's Creed 1 to Assassin's Creed 3, and it was cool to be able to walk along my library and see it just build up to 3.
I had to fix mine, but I have a bunch of the Elder Scrolls games.
Yeah.
I have Daggerfall on my computer, but in disc form I have Morrowind, Oblivion, and Skyrim, and I had those sorted, and it was like you said, it's really cool to see that, and it's kind of like when you go into your I have a library in my room. Kind of look in your library. It's it's not just the books you see. It's also you also see the memories that you had while playing, while reading them. Same thing with games.
Well, one thing they could do, and this goes back to old PS2 game.
PS2.
I can't even think of what they're called now. The
memory card.
No, not the. What holds the disc?
Games?
No, the case.
Oh.
Thank you.
God, my God, Jake. I'm embarrassed for you. I'm embarrassed for you.
Go back to the PlayStation 2.
That's
the only one that had game casing.
The PlayStation game. Well, that's the only one I saw. The PlayStation game case had a slot for your memory card. Now, this is what you could do: is you make maybe like a DS-sized game card or a game case for the games, and you just have that placeholder for the flash drive, so that you keep your library, you keep it looking good, but also.
You got the functionability if you want to. What I was just thinking about is if you take that out and you're going to go to a friend's house and you've got maybe 5 games you want to bring over.
Yeah.
You can just hook those up to a lanyard or something, or just throw them all in your pocket and you're good to go.
Yeah. Well, if they do this game case thing where you can keep it stored in there, like with the PS2 memory card, it's going to make it harder to lose too.
So okay, slight change of topic. What do you guys think about the Xbox's not quite always on? But where it has to check in once every 24 hours.
I think it's the beginning of 1984.
That's some bullshit.
I'm not gonna lie. It's kind of creepy that they're making it that much control.
You have to check in. You have to check into the internet once every 24 hours for your games to function.
Yeah,
that's the primary reason I'm going PS4 because I'm not gonna buy a game console so I can watch TV on it. So that's madness.
Has it said what happens if you don't log in after 24 hours?
Your games don't function. You won't play the content.
You just can't play.
The console.
And I'm not going to be home every day for me.
There's times
still watch TV and stuff.
There's days I go where I don't even turn my Xbox on.
Exactly. This weekend wasn't on.
Yeah. I'll go visit friends. I'll go spend the night at a friend's house.
And then podcast.
Yeah, I'll come podcast, something like that. I'm just not home in that amount of time. And so what am I going to do? Call someone up, be like, hey, can you go over to my house and turn my Xbox on for 5 minutes and just check in for me? I don't want to get in trouble. I don't want to get mad at me.
I don't want my over-attached Xbox to get pissed at me.
For real. And I don't like the fact.
It's not going to be like that. It's only going to be like that when it's on. They're not going to give 2 shits if it's off.
That's the thing, though. How do you know that they're saying that? Anybody, if you have a laptop with a camera, at any point someone can jack into that camera and see what you're watching.
Jake's PC.
Yes. And so, who's to say that hackers aren't going to be able to figure that out with the Kinect?
Oh yeah, no.
Since it's got to constantly be plugged into the Xbox One for it just to function.
Yeah. You can't turn the Kinect sensor off. You can turn the Kinect camera part off, but not the audio.
But someone will find a way to turn that on.
Oh yeah,
and there's no way you can. I don't think you can cover up the sensor because then it won't work because it's got to detect there's a body in front of it.
Yeah,
and it's just it's too much security watching for me. It feels intrusive, to be honest.
Which leads into Microsoft. Podcast. I were talking about this last night.
Yeah,
Microsoft has applied for a patent last year that the Kinect was the Kinect or I couldn't read it all because I couldn't understand it all. But in this case, the Kinect.
Yes.
can scan people in the room.
Yeah.
And if one person doesn't have a right to the content,
Yeah.
it won't function.
Did read
No.
about that.
Wait, but how does it detect that?
It detects bodies. It's just like how.
So if it says there's more
It's
than
like how
one
It's like
person,
facial recognition.
Actually,
so okay, so if there's
hang
more
on.
than one person in the room,
Hold
it'll
on,
detect
hold on.
like.
What I think that means, and I might totally be
Seems
wrong,
pretty
but this one's the one that seems most likely to me. If let's say you're watching an M-rated movie,
Yes.
and
You
let's
mean
say
R-rated?
yeah, R-rated.
You can tell he's a gamer.
M-rated movie.
So
In all honesty, maybe movies should go to that and make everything way easier.
yeah.
Yeah.
So they're watching an R-rated movie,
Mm-hmm.
and then your kid, your own personal child that is
Yeah.
yours,
Your own personal child.
Shut up.
No, this is Jake's personal child.
he is allowed to watch this movie. But let's say Tyler's kid comes in, he can't watch the movie because he's not been approved by it.
Yeah.
That way it would stop restricted, and then it would require parental guidance to come back on, which parental guidance options are already retarded as fucking.
Because-
Either way, that's a bullshit thing.
That's dumb because
But
Hey, parents! If you don't want your kid to watch an R-rated movie, don't let them watch the goddamn movie.
I saw kind of an architecture flaw in the Xbox One. I'm sure they might change it to
An architecture flaw?
like in how it was built. Like,
Okay.
And they'll probably come out with this when they come out with like the new Slimmer update. If the Kinect's got to be constantly plugged into the Xbox, why not build the sensor into the Xbox?
God, why did you tell them that?
Because you can put because what a lot of people do is they put the Xbox on the floor. Kinect
Yeah.
sensor is not.
That's true.
so-
Have you
Stand
seen-
my feet!
Have you seen the new Kinect sensor go up or down at all?
No, it
No,
looks
because
like a
Microsoft's stupid.
solid brick.
Yeah.
much like the Wii's sensor, which I
Yeah.
heard isn't really a sensor, that it just uses
It's infrared.
light.
You can. I found out that you can point a remote control at it, and if you have a button pressed down totally or fully, it'll pick up on it. It's
That's
not
cool.
a sensor; it just detects infrared light.
That's kind of cool.
It is kind of cool. So if you ever lose a controller, that's how you can replace it.
But, so, game lists.
Game list. Do we want to jump to game list, or do we want to talk about the PS4 a little bit since we just went on a very long rant about
Yeah.
that?
I don't think we need to talk about the PS4 because they didn't do anything wrong.
Well, I want to talk about that.
I do
wanna
want to
the PlayStation
talk
4.
about the PlayStation 4.
All right.
Just
I'm outnumbered, no guns.
starting with the PlayStation 4. I like what they do when they come out with the next gen console. PlayStation 4, it may not. Yeah, it got beat by the 360, but they understand the whole
PlayStation
concept.
3 was beat by the 360.
I'm sorry. I'm just focused on PlayStation.
He's excited about the
PlayStation 3.
C3 thing.
PlayStation 3 was beat by the 360. But the thing is, though, PlayStation recognizes the fact that if it's not broke, don't fix it.
Yeah, you mean like, oh god, we have used games. We have disc games.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
The big thing is that it has no backwards compatibility. And then but that Xbox One doesn't have that either.
Both of which are kind of bullshit.
Yeah,
They're
it's
all
kinda
Fallout
stupid.
3.
I want to get freaking The Last of Us, but
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna.
There's no doubt in my mind with how popular it already is now. It'll come out with the PS4.
And I'm
release.
gonna desperately want Fallout 3.
Yeah, of course.
You mean Fallout 4, right?
We'll talk about that in a
Hopefully
minute.
it comes out. And then they're also charging for online now, but that's a security purpose due to
Yeah.
the fact that it
I
got
would
hacked.
last
I'm
year's
gladly
got
pay
bucked
for
over.
security.
Now going to online, that's for me. That's what sent the 360 over the
Yeah.
PS4. Is that it had a more
Secure.
secure. It was a secure online.
Yeah.
Not like I had no problem with the PlayStation 4 online. I never really had a problem with it. PlayStation 3 online. Damn it.
We should just make a tally for every time you say that.
Seriously. But PlayStation 3 online, I never had a problem with it. The online and the connectivity was great for me. Same thing with the 360. It's just that the fact that you paying for the 360 online just gave you a little bit more security, and that's what
Yeah.
they recognize with the PlayStation 4 is that they need to have more secure online.
Oh shit.
And
They were hacked twice.
they're charging. They say less than $5 a month, but it'll turn out to be
It'll be
$5
$5 a month.
which is which is equivalent to what the 360 is. So I'm
Right.
sure they'll come
So
out with
it'll
a
be 60 a year.
No.
I'm sure they'll come out with a bundle and just say, you know what, buy a full year at $60.
Or 40 because they fucked the Xbox on the $399 versus.
Also, yeah, that was another smart move on it.
Oh yeah. Bam.
$500 for the Xbox One. No one's gonna buy it.
Nope.
I'm not gonna pay $500 for a piece of shit.
But
Yeah.
but the Xbox comes with the Kinect and the box. The PS4 does not. It comes with.
I don't want to connect.
But
Fuck the
PlayStation,
Kinect.
but PlayStation's not based on the PlayStation Move. It's an accessory they like to
They incorporate every now and
incorporate
again.
it now and
Right.
then. But they stick.
They were
to,
smart enough
they
to
stick to original gaming.
Yeah.
They didn't want to copy. They basically copied the Wii U and the Xbox, giving it. But what they did smart is they're not pushing the PlayStation Move. They're not saying, hey, you need to play the PlayStation Move. It's like if you want to, go ahead. It's there.
Yeah.
Right.
And most games are compatible with it. So it's like
whereas Xbox is like Connect or Die.
Yeah, it's like you have Connect specific.
And then
games.
they have Connect or Die.
Yeah.
For the internet.
And
it was
so
an internet joke.
So I was never big on the PlayStation Move, so I didn't care about it. But PlayStation, as far as I can tell, PlayStation did everything right. They stuck to what they know, and they stuck to everything right. But then again, they do have one more console on the Xbox, so they've had more years to improve and to think about what to do.
They have 2 more.
One more. PlayStation 1,
yeah.
The X1's going to be the 3rd generation. PS4 obviously is going to be the 4th generation.
And X1 is going to be treated like the redheaded stepchild.
Yes, it is. I feel like PlayStation. I can't wait to see the numbers on launch dates from.
Oh yeah.
PS4 sold 4,000 copies day 1. Xbox One sold 1 of them.
Xbox.
2 and Xbox.
I mean, it was. Yeah. I loved watching the Sony presser about the PlayStation 4.
Oh, I think you mean Tony Stark.
Yeah, basically, where he's just like, they made a slide specific for this, where it's like, oh, we have used games. Also, you don't have to check. They're like, oh, Xbox.
The shit out of
I know.
Xbox.
They're like, Xbox has all these restrictions. Guess what? We don't. And it was amazing to watch that and just to see the crowd go nuts over it. And this is where they're gonna gain more people buying the PlayStation 4, because there's a lot of countries that Xbox sells to that has bad internet. Australia, New Zealand is known for having very slow, very inconsistent internet connection. Soldiers overseas. If they can't connect constantly, they're not going to be able to play the damn game. PlayStation
pissed, and if they're soldiers, they're probably going to come and shoot everybody.
And at the PlayStation 4, they're like, hey, guess what? You can play online or play offline. It doesn't matter. You don't need internet access to play this console.
Because we love the American soldiers.
Yeah. Also, what do you guys think of the design for the PlayStation 4?
Looks like an eraser.
I know, right? What's going on? I saw this funny picture. It was an Xbox One. It was like Xbox One, PlayStation 4 with its pimpling. But I like the fact that they made it to where it's not like round like the other one.
Yeah.
Because what a lot of people do is that with their games, they set them on top. They set them on top of their console when they. Nothing on Josh.
Nothing right now, but
that was the problem with the PlayStation 3 is that you couldn't do that because it was rounded.
It's falling! Save it!
But I don't know.
Slow motion.
What annoys me the most about when stuff like this happens is people are like, "Well, it looks like shit. Like I don't like the design of it." Like, who gives a shit? As long as it plays.
It could look like a piece of shit, and if it works fine,
it
does all the
stuff. 64.
It doesn't have to look pretty.
It
just has to work.
Do what I want.
Nintendo 64.
Well, Nintendo 64 is a beautiful console. You shut your dirty whore mouth, all right?
Sorry, I'm at the PlayStation 1.
Oh, you're pushing it. You're pushing it.
Now I'm just trolling Jake.
Yeah, you are.
Security intervention.
I told you I'd be the one causing the most trouble.
But no, you know what? I saw the PlayStation 4. I was like, you know what? That's what it's gonna look like, and that's what it's gonna look like.
What about the controllers for between the X1 and the?
There's really nothing different with the X1 controller. They say they made 40 new modifications to it, but it's very minute. It's all internal. They apparently made the sides of it more ergonomic for you.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Other than that,
that's nice. But
PlayStation 4 made better improvements. The analog stick isn't coned like before.
Oh, thank God!
Thank you. I know it's indented, concave, so you can you won't
put
lose
your thumb in it.
Yeah, I noticed that. I would notice that too when I would play MLB The Show, because I used the analog for hitting. I would go back to swing, and my thumb would slip off it. I'm like, shit! That should have been a home run, and it was a strikeout. Now with that, it's going to have better grip on it. Also with the triggers, they made it more like triggers instead of buttons. From what I hear. Yeah. So it's more from what I hear, it looks more like the Xbox One triggers or the Xbox 360 control triggers,
which I like.
Which is fine with me. Yeah. I don't mind if they copycatted that off the.
If it works,
if it works, it works. I mean, I never saw anything wrong with when people copycat off stuff, because
besides Nintendo did it first.
Yeah, and it just shows that like well your way works, so we're gonna borrow that and use it for our way too.
Yeah,
and then I didn't see the controller work, and I know it's a touchscreen in the middle, which I kind of like. That's kind of a cool concept.
It's weird, but it's
good.
Cool.
I think it's good.
I'm going to break it day one. Okay. I guarantee you.
I'm going to look. Well, Josh knows when I play fighting games, I grip the control really hard.
Funny.
And I know with the fact that it looks fragile. The middle does of the PlayStation.
Jake's like,
I'm like,
this is already done.
This is not going to end well.
Maybe you should just preemptively break it. Just like grab a hammer, just tap it once in the middle. All right, now I don't have to worry about it.
I'll figure something out. But no, I you know what? I don't mind the way they looked. I thought the Xbox One looked good. I thought the PS4 looked cool. And you know what? It's how they're going to look. There's nothing we can do about it. What are they going to do? Be like, oh, wait, we got to take all the hardware in and put it in something that looks cool.
What if Microsoft is just trolling us and coming out with this shit console and then releases a beautiful one? I'm going to be so pissed.
I know.
But I'm going to
laugh.
I'm going to be pissed, but I'm going to be like, you know what? Well played. I'll give that to you.
Anyone else disturbed by how much on the Xbox One looks like HAL? The HAL 9000.
Gosh, we already know.
Yes.
Jesus.
It's just pointing it out.
There's memes all over the place. It's like, oh, I see you're not connected to the internet. I can't let you play, Dave.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, oh god, this is creepy. And like, just the fact that people are making that connection makes it even creepier for me. It makes me even like turned off more from the Xbox.
Less likely to buy it.
Yeah.
And stuff. I don't know. I'm not paranoid, but I don't like the fact of it always having to be connected and always be watching you because. You know, you hear all those stories of people's cameras getting hacked on their computer or something. It's only a matter of time before someone does it on the Xbox.
To me, I say go ahead because if they really want to watch me that badly,
if you want to watch you play naked, go ahead. I don't care. I mean, it's just
whatever. Yeah, but at least with you, it's like a show. People are gonna want to see that. With me, it's just like wobble, 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 wobble.
Where's it start? Where's it end?
I don't know.
It gets it once, and it's like the ocean. I'm fat. That was the joke.
Are you?
Are you sure? Are you sure?
Yes.
Yes.
But yeah, it's just I don't know. It was just Josh, quit playing with your stomach.
Sorry.
Podcast here. But no, I think overall PlayStation 4 just blew the Xbox. But not without the help of the Xbox One. Xbox One helped destroy itself.
PS4 just thanks Xbox One. I couldn't have killed you without your help.
Pretty much. What I feel like the Xbox One did is they figured like, okay, how do we top the 360? And they're like, and they just threw too much into it. They bit off more than they could chew. If you want to make Microsoft has the power, the technology, and the money to make its own separate home entertainment console.
Yeah, and I feel like they said they were going for what more can we do? How can we make the Xbox 360 better when they should have just been like, okay, how can we just continue the Xbox 360? But
what they should have done is they should have done a PlayStation. It's just like, okay, let's not completely renovate it and just like completely do an overhaul. Yep. Let's fix what we thought was wrong with the 360 and just add minor improvements and more improvements. That's essentially what the PS4 did.
My only problem with that is people are going to be using that to try to excuse it. And one, this is inexcusable. Second of all, I have a hard time believing with that amount of developers, somebody didn't go, whoa, guys, don't you think we're doing a little bit much here?
Yeah.
Fired.
I'm sorry, I think we might be doing too much.
I'm sorry. Are you being reasonable here? I'm just saying, no, you're fired is what you're saying.
All right, you're fired. No, shut the... Okay.
But, yeah,
if I were
feel like they did too much. And that's ultimately what led to them just kind of killing themselves on this one.
I do want to transition to the games list now, and I'm going to say one game title.
Before we do that, though, we got to go back to the question. I said we'd come back to it.
Right.
I think the question
how do you feel about the rumors of Xbox One games being played on...
Oh, yeah.
No, on
the computer.
It was basically they were being run on a computer
with
Windows 7, a high-powered
computer with Windows 7 and
a high-powered
GPS
graphics card, a very high-powered graphics card. So essentially, they were doing whatever they could to make it look as best as possible, and then people are going to get their Xbox One and be like, "This is not how it looked at E3."
I feel like go for it.
I actually feel that they put those out there so that Xbox would not be stolen. Because they only had one that was being publicly viewed.
See,
and if they just left those things unattended,
what makes more sense? Put out the Xbox One, there's a chance it's going to get stolen.
Who the fuck would steal it? That's my question.
And it'll well, essentially, what they're going to do is that if someone stole it, Microsoft will be like, well, check the Kinect to see where it is.
Yeah.
Would you rather lose your Xbox One or a bunch of computers that are like, with 10
I
times
think
as
it's
much.
like I want to say it's almost like falsely advertising.
Yeah, it is.
Exactly.
It is.
And it's
in
what
a way,
makes it. That's actually one of the things that makes me go PS4.
In a
They
way-
actually use their console.
in a way, it's a straight line to the gamers and the buyers. It's like this is what you're gonna get when it's not what you're gonna get.
No.
And what PlayStation does right when I've seen the way they demo their console and their games. They have the console sitting right in front of you. They have it on. It's on a pedestal. You have
What I
nothing.
don't-
You have nothing to hide. You have nowhere to like hide something else.
There are no
underneath it.
wires.
And why don't
Yeah.
they just set it? You know how like GameStop, where they have
Yeah.
it in like a fucking
in a case. Not
Oh
to
my
mention-
god, that technology is too advanced for us.
Not to mention, with how many people with how much security is around E3, you really think someone's gonna be able to make off with
Hi,
the
guys.
Xbox One?
You let me
like,
through,
it's like,
right?
oh, this is not what it looks like. It's a replica. That I
Well,
want.
last
I
year,
mean,
somebody
black.
stole.
Shit.
Somebody stole a laptop for an upcoming game that had all the information on it.
Mhm.
It was like a developer's laptop.
but see, that's
Laptops
like,
are a hell of a lot easier to steal.
well, they're a lot easier still because you gotta.
anyone can go in with a laptop and come out with a laptop.
Yeah.
You can't go in with
and you're not going to be able to keep track of who all has these
these
laptops.
Exactly.
If they're coming out with a game console, there's some a little bit
Not
suspicious
to mention the
there.
game console is not supposed to come out till November.
Yeah.
Yeah. I see something suspicious happening.
Yes.
But I didn't see it. It didn't happen.
But yeah, it's just that. Yeah, I feel like.
But again, it's a rumor, so.
But they did
You
show.
and I,
They
you
did
and I
show.
have seen pictures of them.
I've seen
Right.
pictures too, and
Right.
it was side by side pictures of like, oh, this guy's playing a game on it that was released for the Xbox One, and it shows him like preparing it or turning it off, and it's a computer console.
But
that might be just a placeholding skin.
But see, the
That-
thing is though,
that's also what I was thinking.
it's
that they-
possible. But the thing is, they did this. It said that they did the same thing with the 360. That they were running it off.
Yeah,
computers.
well, it's because Microsoft got its base in computers.
Yes.
There's always going to be those rumors.
Yeah.
So honestly, I would like to believe that it's just the Xbox One
Right.
under there with like a skin or whatever. But if it's not Microsoft,
I'm not surprised.
you've changed.
And
Well, in
What
a way,
happened to the Microsoft I used to know?
in a way, it could be. It's a clever disguise. Is if it's in a different skin, no one's going to try to steal it and be like,
Yeah,
that.
shit
Oh,
for
that's
it,
the
but-
Xbox One right there. Let's try to take it.
But then again, if someone sees it like they did and take
Mhm.
pictures and post it online, then
gonna
Microsoft
get
Like they were
shit
already
for it.
like Xbox, like the Xbox was already going on a downhill path after the E3 press conference.
Yeah,
That's just gonna make it worse. And so
but there's no such thing as bad publicity.
I guess that's true, but it is a way to. It's a good way to kind of ruin something that's already.
Oh yeah, well,
That's already
it's,
disliked.
it's a good way to ruin something that's already ruined.
Yeah, that's true.
they're just digging themselves a deeper.
Yeah,
hole,
and
honestly.
it's gonna, and not to mention the guy, the presenter. I think he was a CEO or he was a higher up for the
John
Xbox.
Matrick?
Yeah, did you hear what he said in the interview after it? It's like what they're like. Well, what do we? Because Xbox released a newer 360, a newer model that you can buy.
Right.
And they're like, well, what's going to happen to those people who can't connect to the internet? He's like, well, we have a console for that. It's the 360. And they're like, and he's like, so basically, if you can't connect to it, and just take a 360. He's like, yeah, buy a 360. What? That just made it
That's
even
stupid.
worse. He's saying he's trying to push this new console. What they're supposed to make their like next 6-7 years until they make a new one.
Yeah.
They're supposed to make it's supposed to be the cash cow. And he's saying, you know what? If you can't afford it, just stick to our old console.
That's not
That's
helping them out
not
at all.
what you want to say,
Especially
bro.
when you know within the next year and a half they're going to phase out the 360.
Yep.
And force
No,
people.
they won't.
Yes.
No, they're going to
No,
do
they
simultaneous
won't.
release like they did with the 360.
Yeah, I feel like just because the 360 is what it is,
Mhm.
they're not going to phase out like they did with the Xbox.
It's just like the PS2 because the PS2 was still receiving games well into
The last game.
2012. I think.
They actually still.
Yeah.
They released the last PS2 game ever for the PS2. The newest one is FIFA 14.
a soccer game.
Yeah.
Give me a break.
Well, that's because there's like apparently the demographic with there's Latin American countries where they
Yeah.
a lot of them still can't afford the
Screw
PS3.
that. I want Kingdom Hearts 3 for PlayStation 2.
We'll get to that.
I was about to say, man, that's
We'll get to that in a second. But
No,
no,
you already read from excitement.
I know. GameStop just stopped taking in PS2
Yeah.
and
stuff.
Xbox games. And
Well, they did that a while ago.
they-
Yeah.
No, they
But-
still have PS2 games.
No,
They stopped taking them in.
effective June 1st. So 16 days ago. they stopped taking all accessories, all games, and all PS2s. So you can't trade them in anymore. So they effectively just eliminated the PS2.
It's okay because my PS2's awesome.
Is going to be getting an influx of
yeah.
2s and games.
I don't even remember what my PS2 is right now. I know I still have it somewhere.
Mine is in my younger brother's room.
Oh, nice.
Still gets used.
Okay, so Josh.
Yes.
To the game list.
Yeah. So Jake, are you excited for Kingdom Hearts 3?
Oh my God! Yes! Finally, it's been 84 years. Alright? But yes, Kingdom Hearts 3. Yes!
I'm stoked. But the trailer didn't show a lot.
I don't care.
Jake says it's happening. It can be better shit and
they could have had just one simple screen card that said Kingdom Hearts 3 in development. I would have freaked out.
Damn, the fact that
they still gave us a video and a little bit of gameplay, even though it's probably not in the actual game, but it's Sora riding a flood of Heartless.
Yeah.
He surfs on it. It's like, yes, this is so awesome.
So Jake,
yes.
What if it turns out to be terrible?
You know what? You're a jackass.
You know what games I didn't like? Between Kingdom Hearts 2 and 3, all the 2.5.
Oh my God!
And
not to mention,
I was like,
I Live by Sleep.
But they are coming out with a good thing where they're coming out with Kingdom Hearts 1.5, where you get to play. I think you get to play Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2 on it. It's coming to the next gen, and then on top of that, you get all the cutscenes from the games in between. So you get caught up. It's going to come out before the Kingdom Hearts 3, so you're going to get caught up to Kingdom Hearts 3.
I can live with that.
Any games besides Kingdom Hearts 3 you guys are particularly excited about?
Final Fantasy? Yes!
Jesus Christ, Jake.
Oh my God, it's such a good year.
Stop. They need to stop with the Final Fantasy.
They do. What happened to the final part of Final Fantasy?
No, it's never-ending story. That's what it is. Never-ending fantasy.
Let me give you a quick history of Final Fantasy.
Final Fantasy 2413.
I'm just gonna give you a quick
finalist of fantasy.
I'm just gonna give you a quick overview of the name. It was Final Fantasy 1 was a last-ditch effort for Squaresoft at the time. It was before it was Square Enix.
Okay, cool.
For Squaresoft, they were about to go bankrupt. The CEO was like, we need one more thing. He had this in his back pocket, and that's why he called it Final Fantasy, because ultimately it was going to be his last game if it didn't work out. And so that's why he called it that. It was his Final Fantasy of his dream coming to fruition of being a head game designer and just of Squaresoft becoming
and of course
big.
It took off.
And yes, it did.
Still though, it's a good series. Kind of. I don't like it, but I know you do.
Hey.
It just needs to end.
No, it doesn't.
It needs to
go on. It needs to go on forever.
To live, Jake.
I know it says what Final Fantasy 15, but
stop.
On top of that, you got like side notes or side games stuff. So it's really like Final Fantasy 20 something.
I'd be okay with it if they just changed the name. I really would.
I want it
and like just change the name entirely, and just make it the same.
And make it not a JRPG?
Yeah.
No, keep it. Keep exact. Don't. If it's not broke,
JRPGs. Final Fantasy is it.
If it's not broke, Pokemon, fix it.
As you pointed out to me.
Yes.
If it's not broke, don't fix it. Okay. If Final Fantasy is not broken, no, it's not.
It's on repeat. It's going.
No, Jake's right. If it keeps selling like that, it's clearly not broken.
It's a cash cow. It's a cash, and it's never gonna go away.
At some point, it's just people are just like, why?
What else can we do?
Why?
Riding giant monster titties to fight. That's what it's going to become. Yeah. Do you want that to happen?
I'd be fine with that, as long as the Final Fantasy game.
Oh my God.
So Jake is the definition of fanboy.
Okay, that was the first real series that got me hooked on gaming, okay? Final Fantasy.
Shit, what was the first real series that got me hooked on?
I couldn't tell you.
No shit, Ty. No wonder you couldn't tell me.
Anyway, no, I'm excited. Final Fantasy, New Kingdom Hearts. It's gonna be good. It sold me on the PlayStation 4, and then I found out it's. I guess it's coming to Xbox. Who gives a fuck? Because Xbox.
I do.
Hey,
Shut up, Pockets.
Shut up, Pockets. Nobody agrees with you.
Fuck yourself, Pockets. Okay. Other than that, I'm really looking forward to
Battlefront 3. Oh my God!
Battlefront?
Yes,
Battlefront 3.
The new Star Wars Battlefront 3 because EA Games bought LucasArts, so it's coming out Battlefront.
And DICE is taking a hold of that shit.
Yes, and if you don't know, DICE controls Battlefield 4. Oh yeah.
But there's a slight problem.
What?
EA is shit.
Right,
No.
but DICE
EA runs
DICE-
almost every franchise they've had in
DICE
the
is not shit though, and DICE will fix it. Mirror's Edge 2. Speaking of DICE, yes. Oh,
I'm
good.
excited for that. I
It's
love
so
Part
good.
One.
I'm so excited. It's gonna be
Um,
just the lineup they're coming out with and the games they showed. Oh my god, it's amazing. Also, they came out. I'm not gonna be able to remember what the game's called, but it's an open world zombie shooter mixed with parkour.
Oh, are you thinking
Mirror's
Sunset,
Edge
it's
meets
Sunset,
Dead Island.
Sunset Drive or something like that. It's,
yeah. That looks.
I can't remember what it's called, but
incredibly
it
good.
looks so good. Oh, I'm so excited for that too.
I'm looking forward to all
basically,
these new
it's
zombie
Mirror's Edge meets Dead Island.
Pretty much, except it's got a more comic tone
Yeah.
to it.
Yeah.
So
It's got, like the gameplay looked really cartoony, which looks really cool.
So I'm not going to be getting one of the new consoles for quite some time because there is a nasty rumor floating around that I hope to God isn't true.
What?
Fallout 4,
Yes.
Xbox One exclusive.
Ooh, that's good.
Well, that sucks for you.
I will cry
Break
and
some
throw
hearts.
Molotovs at Microsoft if this happens.
But Microsoft should just shoot himself even more.
But when I don't think it will be because they don't have a history of making games that are exclusives. DLC, I'm okay with having
Just give me the
time
game.
DLC.
I don't. You know what? I don't focus on DLC
Also,
a lot. I just
Bethesda,
want, just give me the game.
Bethesda has
Especially,
confirmed the development of Fallout 4 now.
especially with the Fallout and Oblivion series. You have so much more to do besides the DLC.
Oh
Yeah,
Like,
God.
honestly, I've
Well, that's
never
because
really
it's
gotten
very
DLCs
radiant.
from most games.
Like I got the Skyrim Legendary Edition, and it came with the 3 DLCs. I haven't even started on those yet.
To be honest, when it came to Skyrim, I feel like the DLCs were pushed a little too early.
Yeah.
But with Fallout 3,
Yeah.
I loved the DLCs,
I think
and
from
they
what I
worked
hear,
really well.
From what I hear, the DLCs for both Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas were pretty well spaced out.
They really
And
were.
they came out with they had a good plan on
But
releasing them.
regardless, my
Skyrim those was really weird because it was like one.
boom boom
I lost.
no,
I
no,
lost. I lost
I-
track of it.
I don't
You
know.
had Dawnguard, and then you had
Hearthfire.
Hearthfire, and then you had Dragonborn.
Yeah, Dragonborn.
So Dovahkiin is the dragon.
Dragonborn.
Okay,
Dragonborn, but-
Dragonborn, the DLC deals with you fighting the original, the first
Oh, okay.
prototype Dragonborn.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
But that sounds cool. I'll eventually get to it once
Regardless,
I get 120 something hours from now into my Skyrim. I'll eventually get into
Now, you played Fallout 3.
it briefly.
I know for a fact you
Yeah.
did. You
I have it. I've played it.
Now, I think it's fair to say that I'm probably the one who knows the most about it.
Yes,
Oh yes.
like I know the most about Final Fantasy.
Yes. So
Stop giving me that look,
I
Ty.
didn't give that to you.
Bethesda has released, on their Twitter, they have said Fallout 4 is in development.
Okay,
And they're toying with the idea of adding co-op.
that would be awesome.
That would be nice.
That's something they should have came out with Skyrim.
Well, now,
They are
they
doing
said
Skyrim
They're doing Oblivion. The
they
MMO.
said they didn't want to do it to Skyrim because it would ruin the massive, epic
Yeah.
single-player adventure.
Yes.
Which I can see. And honestly, when it comes to Fallout,
I
would
you have to
mind
depend.
co-op.
You have to depend on the companion in Fallout more than any.
well,
Oblivion.
I feel like in Fallout, I wouldn't mind a co-op. I would actually love it, especially if it was couch co-op, which isn't going to happen. But
Okay, so what's couch co-op?
like my brother and I playing in the same room.
Oh, so like
Local.
split
Local.
screen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I would enjoy that quite a bit.
Yeah.
Because me and my brother would be able to play Fallout together.
And you wouldn't want to have to be in separate rooms on your mic when it's just easier to sit in the same room and talk to each
Yeah.
other.
Some people have pointed out that they think it's going to ruin Fallout because Fallout's about being in a depressed, lonely world. Yeah, but I always thought it'd be really cool to adventure with a friend.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I wouldn't. I guess my mentality about it is if they did it in a style of Red Dead Redemption.
Yeah.
Speaking of which,
We'll get to it in a minute. Where they did a massive lobby that wasn't connected to the single player.
Mm-hmm.
I think that would be better.
Yeah, I think that would be the only way they could effectively run it because I was thinking that would work like GTA 4's missions.
let's
online.
face it. Red Dead Redemption had the best online co-op
Ever.
Yeah.
ever.
Yeah.
Hands down.
They
Yeah, ever.
yeah. Dead Rising gave it a run, but no.
Dead Rising or Dead Island?
Dead Island.
Dead Island's co-op online was
I think
fun.
she's dead.
It was fun.
I hated the fact that random people could just join you in the middle of
Well,
the
you can
game.
make it private.
You could make
I've
it
been
private.
trying to fucking
Josh
figure
and
that
I
out
figured that
forever.
out. You can make it
I-
private.
No,
but
I
the thing
figured
is,
that you never did.
the thing that kind of fucked you over though is that if Josh invited me to the game, we could play through the whole story on his.
But it wouldn't be.
But when I go back to mine, I'm starting back on chapter 1. But I have all my levels. Like,
Which was kind of cool because At that point, it's like, all right, bitches,
Yeah.
let's do this.
But no, easily I think Red Dead Redemption's online co-op was better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As it comes to Dead Island, I think Dead Island has had more moments that I've enjoyed playing on live. Like the famous, "Oh, she's dead." Jake, I think she's dead.
We'll tell that story later.
Yeah, but Red Dead, we just haven't had those moments. But it works.
It's still
better.
fun.
It works better. Fun. Except for there's that glitch people become invincible. I want to murder them.
Yes, and like it's ridiculous.
Yeah. But
or they somehow get spawned out of the map and they can pick you off from the top of a mountain like 6,000 yards away.
Glitchiness aside, honestly, every game developer ever, take your live multiplayer from Red Dead.
Yes, definitely.
They had Private Room, which is probably my favorite thing.
It is. I loved the private free roam option where we Josh and I would get online. And we could goof around and we could go do it. We could do go to the hangouts
fear of assholes besides each other.
Yes.
I mean,
and they always eventually lead into that.
Oh, really did.
Killing each other for going on a spree of that, and then be like, all right, let's go. We get to business now.
all right, game time's over.
Now, to flow back into
what were you originally
E3 and future games coming out.
Tangent.
Red Dead 2.
Woo! I love the high five.
There was a list that was leaked, and I sent it to Josh, and apparently Red Dead 2 is announced.
Yes, Red Dead Redemption 2, not
Red
just
Red Dead Redemption 2 is announced.
Yeah. Oh.
Right now, quick. I don't know if Ty, did you ever play Red Dead Redemption?
I have it. Yes, I've
good.
played it.
Pockets.
Yep.
Yeah, Pockets got it back from me recently.
Let's brainstorm real quick. What's the story going to be about? Do you think it's going to be a prequel where you ride John Marston and Dutch and you go and it leads up to Red Dead Redemption, or do you think it's going to be Jack Marston continued?
I hope to God it's not Jack Marston.
You know what would be really cool? If they did a Landon Ricketts Red Dead Redemption.
And then Josh died.
Yep, Josh died. But no, it would be cool. It would be cool if they did something like that. But they probably won't. Chances are they're going to do what they did Red Dead Revolver, and then they came out with Red Dead Redemption, which was two completely different areas and characters and stuff
what
like that.
What I think would be awesome is if the character's last name was McFarlane.
Nice. I would like that too.
Because it'd be Bonnie's relative, and it'd be awesome.
Oh, I thought you were meaning that she had a kid, but
relative, whether it's kid or
I don't think it'd be a kid because she voiced that she did not want to have.
It might have to be a prequel. I just remembered
why,
because of the time period that Red Dead set in.
That's true. It's the end of the cowboy era. Yeah. So yeah, that's why. So I'm gonna go my brainstorm idea and what I think Red Dead Redemption 2 is gonna be about is John Marston's prequel story where he's riding with Dutch's gang.
I think it's going to be an unrelated story that happens at the same time.
Yeah,
that would be cool. Is it going to happen in New Austin though? I wouldn't want it to.
I would want some things in New Austin just so you can see some of the characters, like cameos of Irish and Wes Dickens and.
But with Nigel Wes Dickens,
he can show up anywhere.
He can show up anywhere because he's a traveling man.
Yes.
Same with the professor you found in Blackwater because he eventually left. He came and went, and then there is a way you could get those cameos in. Maybe Bonnie's ranch went under, and so she moved somewhere else to build a new one, or she just left the ranch to build her own ranch.
I think what would be the coolest is if they continued with the mysterious stranger aspect of the storyline.
Fuck, I hated that.
God, I loved that storyline.
I had mixed feelings about it because it was cool, but. Oh my God! I wanted to murder the guy.
Now we're talking about the one where it was it's rumored.
It's labeled mysterious stranger.
It's rumored that the guy was the devil.
Yeah.
Yes, that was such a good. That was my all-time favorite side quest.
Yes, it was cool, but I really wanted to know.
Any other game?
Yellow Eyes, damn it!
Any other games you guys are looking for? I know Dead Rising 3 is coming out. Was Dead Rising announced as an Xbox?
Yes,
exclusive?
it was.
It was Xbox One exclusive.
You know what? It's
worth it.
But
I'll
it's going
take
to be
it.
more serious business.
It is. It did have a very serious looking tone to it. It was not the cartoony looking Dead Rising 1 and 2. It looks like you can still improvise weapons and you can still chuck them. And
I would leave that to Dead Island personally.
But no, it was a very serious looking game.
Honestly, for me, the big thing that it was announced before E3, but they started showing some off, is actually a Nintendo game.
Yes, we'll go into Nintendo after this too.
Pokemon X and Y.
You can run diagonally!
Okay, I am a huge Pokemon fan.
What's the last one I love Pokemon. The last one I played that was yellow.
Emerald.
Yeah.
Last one I played was Heart Gold.
Yeah.
And I actually want to get a 3DS to play Pokemon X and Y.
Yeah.
That's the only reason.
I want to do that with Kingdom Hearts games, but I was like, that's just too much money. Just for one game, just too much money.
Well, part of it's that Pokemon's always been about the two different versions.
You know what you'd be better off doing? Get the game and borrow a friend's 3DS. And see if you...
They're not going to get it back, though. because a big part of it is the two versions. Well, my brother and I would get Gold and Silver or Sapphire.
You talked about this before.
In this one, it looks beautiful.
It does. It's got some really good animations.
It's got good animations. It's actually done in a more like 3-dimensional style.
And you actually have mounts too that you can ride around on.
Yes, and there's an entire mode. It's gimmicky as shit, but I love it. It's an entire mode where you can feed and pet the Pokemon. Yeah, gimmicky as shit, but I want it really badly.
That's
because it's little touches like there are normal and small Pokemon that only take up the bottom screen, but like Pokemon like Snorlax that are big take up both screens.
Oh, nice!
And I just want to pet a Snorlax. That's all I want out of this life.
I kind of would like to see what a Wailord would look like on that.
Just
now,
hey, derpin.
Now going back to Nintendo.
Yes.
The Wii U. Now you laugh at it, but here's my theory.
I laugh because it makes me think of a siren. Just
Well, now they released games, but they released the same thing as always. They released a Mario game, a Zelda, a Donkey Kong.
There's no new IPs.
Yeah, there's no. But here's where I think Nintendo's going. Nintendo's going to stay in the console race,
but it's going to be for kids.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. I think they've accepted the fact that they're never going to compete with Xbox and PlayStation.
Yep.
After Mad World, they're just like, let's not do this.
Well, and it's kind of funny seeing how it's like the Nintendo 64 was like the crown jewel of consoles.
It still kind of is.
I mean, it beat out PlayStation, the PlayStation 1.
Mine still works, and I have it.
That was a new thing that PlayStation was going like, how do we do this?
Yeah.
Where Nintendo had NES, Super NES, and then the
Nintendo
64.
came out with, I think it was the first console where every single game was a 3D game. You had no side scrollers.
The 64?
The 64.
When you said when Nintendo came out with the game, I thought you were talking about original Nintendo. Like
Nintendo 64 was the first console where it had every game was a 3D world.
I want to say, yeah, I think so.
I'm pretty sure it was.
Pockets would be the guy.
I can't remember a single side-scrolling game I had for the 64. And it was but going back, it was just weird. It's kind of weird seeing how it went from the 64 to where the Wii is now, or the Wii U is now. And it shows how you can be on top and completely derail yourself.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And maybe that's where Xbox is heading.
I think it's happening a lot quicker than it ever did for...
But see, what I think what's going to happen with the Xbox is they're going to see how bad the sales are when it releases and how negative the feedback is, and they'll fix it.
Fix it now!
But then again, we are almost 5 months away from actual launch itself. They could
change it between now and then.
That's what I was getting at earlier with the releasing this awesome mega console of sex. And when is sex a bad thing?
My friends have asked me, and they're like, "Why won't you get an Xbox? Or what would it take to get you an Xbox One?" I'm like, "They're gonna have to pull something out of their ass.
Yeah,
they're gonna have to pay me.
They're gonna have to buy a PlayStation 4 and wrap it up like an Xbox One and sell it to me like that."
Basically,
how would you buy an Xbox One if it was a PS4? That's how I would buy it.
Pretty much.
The Wii U, I think they've accepted the fact that it's no longer a powerhouse, and they're going to focus more on
games for kids.
Games for kids,
which is fine.
And it's gonna become essentially, going to a sports term, the farm league of consoles, where it's going to be like the kids are going up. They're going to get started gaming on that, and then they'll make the move to like the PlayStation or the Xbox. Yeah.
Actually, that's a really good move for Nintendo to do.
It is because it's a way to capitalize. But
and it's cheap as well.
It's completely flying under the radar too, and making a shit ton of cash.
There's a GIF on Tumblr I've seen a couple times. You see this bicyclist.
Yep.
Labeled then you see a taxi coming forward and labeled Microsoft.
And then it gets T-boned by PlayStation.
Yeah, and Nintendo just keeps going.
Yeah,
and that's basically what they're doing.
That's what. Yeah, they're not trying to make a move to go up on top. They're accepting the fact that like they've lost that title and they'll probably never get it back.
They're biding their time.
And so they're cornering a market of younger gamers.
Honestly,
and the new generation of gamers.
They have one game that is like, it's not directed at adults, but adults only by the strictest legal definitions are going to be the most people that buy them.
Yes.
And that's the Pokemon games.
Yes.
Like me.
Yeah. Now, they've single-handedly taken over the handheld gaming world. Nothing can compete with Nintendo and their handheld games. And you know what? If that's where they're going to make the cash cow, good for them.
Yeah,
I mean,
seriously.
If you like,
Sony tried and they're like, nope.
I would love to see Microsoft come out with something that can compete with that. Right?
They did. It's called the Microsoft phone.
No.
I don't know. I just.
Well, I mean, 3DS is coming to a point where it's almost its own like console itself, like where it can even compete with the Wii U because you can get internet access on it, and I think you can hook it up to your cellular provider, as to where you can get service anywhere.
Honestly,
I can't remember if they have, but I know
something that might be able to salvage Nintendo, like in terms of console, if they actually started making in-depth Pokemon console games.
Yeah, that's another. They've never
skyrocket.
The last console game that was legitimate Pokemon console game was Pokemon Stadium for the 64.
And
it was a great
game.
Stadium
too. They had a second one.
They had a Stadium, but it didn't do anything.
After that, and they had another one on the GameCube. One was where like you're like this like rebel guy, and it was always a 2-pronged battle where you always put out 2 Pokemon. And the stars were the darker Eevee evolutions.
Okay.
The 2-tailed cat and the pink.
But see, but why create that? Why try to deviate from the normal path of Pokemon games? Come out with the Pokemon X and Y just for the console, though.
Yeah.
It would make a ton of money.
And use your console resources for
yes.
it. Like yes, it looks beautiful. Pokemon X and Y look beautiful. Mm-hmm. But imagine if that was actually on a console. How much better?
1 on a console and 2 on a high-def TV.
Oh my god.
Well, yeah.
And then Josh died
beautiful.
again.
Yeah. And stuff, and like in a way, it's not gonna like launch the Wii and Nintendo up back to where they were, but it'll definitely boost the Wii U sales. But yeah, like
by a lot.
Nintendo can keep doing their thing. I enjoy Nintendo.
I don't have any problems.
Oh wait, same here. I've gotten to the point where like you can accept the fact that it's a far less superior console. But it doesn't mean that it's a bad console.
Right.
It's not. It's still got that. It's still got a heart rate going and a regular. Just
got a steady pulse.
Yeah. I don't see the Wii U dying anytime soon. Even though it's not as superior.
Okay, we should probably get rid of that analogy at risk of beating a dead horse. But
yeah,
the living Wii, because that's just a terrifying concept. Xbox One. So yeah, anything in particular you guys are thinking besides the Super Smash Bros. Game?
Oh yeah, how do you guys feel about the addition of the Wii Fit girl as one of the new characters?
I kind of think it was a good move.
I liked it. I thought it was
clever.
There was like, of course you had the sexist people gamers who were like, that's stupid. Why would you? But it looked, the way they did it, they could have made it really cheesy and made it a really campy like.
Bro, it looks badass.
She looks badass. She looks like she can kick some serious ass.
And I don't know. I could it have been the Wii Fit male trainer? I don't give a shit.
Yeah,
I think it was just a clever idea.
That's what I like. That's what I like about Smash Bros. Is they take unorthodox Nintendo characters and make a badass.
Sonic.
Yeah. Or the NES.
Sonic's best game in the last 20 years. Super Smash Brothers Brawl.
Basically.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, Nintendo came out with another great Smash Brothers game, but that's
kind of far from
it. Yeah.
I kind of felt bad for Sony when I first heard about All Stars. I'm just like, dude, you're trying to compete against Nintendo with this, who's had 1, 2, now 3 cracks at this.
Yeah, you're not gonna.
They already took home the trophy.
Yeah, because at that point they had Super Smash Bros, then Melee, then Brawl, right?
Yeah.
And now what's the name for this new one?
I think they just went back to Super Smash Bros.
Oh, it's just Super Smash Bros. That's
Going back to their roots. I like it.
Might as well.
Mortal Kombat did it. Why not?
One thing that Xbox One, a cool game it did, I think it's exclusive, is Rise, where you play that
Son of Rome.
Son of Rome, where you play that Roman soldier.
Looks so badass.
Was I the only one who thought of D-Day when they were storming that beach? Yes,
Yeah,
that was like
that
I was
too.
sitting here like this. I'm like, this is
This
exactly
is some medieval
like,
D-Day shit going on.
And it looks like an amazing game, and it sucks that it's an Xbox One exclusive, but I'll learn to live with it because
I think that's the only exclusive for Xbox that I was really looking forward to.
not Halo 5.
No, fuck Halo 5.
But really?
You have stopped at Halo 4.
You're still upset over Cortana, aren't you?
I'm pissed. Screw that shit. We're done.
And I've just never been a big fan of Halo. So.
I liked it. I really like Halo.
I loved Halo. Halo Reach was shit. I want to burn that game.
Me going back to PlayStation, it's gonna suck not being able to play Halo. But I'm sure
I still have an Xbox.
I'm sure I'll still have a friend that has an Xbox One and Halo 5, so I'll go play it over there.
I am not.
Assuming you can
play.
Oh yeah, assuming I can.
Yeah.
I'll get over there. Like, let's play Halo. He's like, I'm sorry.
The Kinect says, "I'm sorry, Jake. I'm afraid I can't let
you
do that."
It's like, what game, dude? I don't have Halo 5 that you can play, dude. Yeah, you just text me. No, Jake. No, I don't.
It's listening.
It's listening.
No, you should buy an Xbox One and buy the game and folding Halo 5.
You leave and like the Kinect just like whips out a gun. It's like, good job.
Wait, does he own a PS4?
No.
You're lying to me. No, I can see your
Yeah.
pulse. You're lying. Okay, he does. Take this gun. Kill him.
Oh my god.
But no, in all honesty, that's where Xbox One is heading. It's heading towards 1984. Yeah. The government's going to buy the Xbox One, be like, mass produce this to where we can watch everyone.
There were rumors that the government was controlling the Kinects and that they could use the Kinect, which
That's
think
such a stupid rumor.
Total bullshit.
Conspiracy theorists at their finest.
Honestly, I think it's total bullshit.
I'm sorry, 9/11 truthers. I couldn't hear you over the sound of how awesome I am.
Started on that.
That's for another podcast.
Yes, it is. What's your guys' feel on Call of Duty Ghosts? Spoiler: the dog's gonna die at the end.
No shit.
This is the dog. You care about him.
You're gonna get really connected.
He's going to die.
You're gonna get really connected to this awesome, badass dog, and you know what? He's gonna die at the end.
That the game is stupid. I think
Call of Duty needs to stop.
Well, okay, so I
think that needs to stop, much like Final Fantasy.
Yeah. Call of Duty. Oh, well, thank you, Josh. I was just thinking the same thing.
Shut up. But what Call of Duty should do is they should stop the campaign and it should come out as a primarily online game where you can only play
I don't know,
online,
because I like the campaign.
I've yet to play Black Ops 2 campaign. I've yet to play.
I love the Black Ops 2.
The Black Ops 2 campaign, phenomenal.
It blew my mind. It was good.
I heard it was horrible.
No,
what you can do is you can do... When you play the game, you know that book that you read that was like, turn to page 5 if you want to...
Oh, yeah, choose your own adventure?
Yeah.
You basically choose the way the game ends.
Really?
Yeah.
You make the story. So, like,
I
hated...
Jake's like, and now I'm going to go
I guess I'll go home and give it a shot.
Right, Pockets. You know where you have to defend the forward operating bases and shit?
Yeah.
I never did any of those, and that fucked me.
Oh,
the rest of the game.
And so it's got a Mass Effect feel where you can choose where the end, whether it's a good ending, a bad ending. I refuse to go on the suicide mission because I know I'll lose everyone.
I don't know if you did all the loyalty quests, you won't.
Really?
Unless you make like grievous squad choices, yeah, everybody can get out alive. I went through. I lost.
Fuck! I just took myself.
I lost the Asari.
Liara?
No, not her. The other.
I know what you're talking about. I don't know her name. It's been a while since I played
like
Mass Effect.
The Justicar.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
I lost her because I made a wrong choice.
But then again, that's not that big of a loss.
Right. Who cares?
I just don't want to lose the black guy named Jacob for obvious reasons.
I wonder why, Jake.
He's black.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a hate crime if I lose him.
It's true. It's true, Turk.
See, now if you pull out on Xbox One, 5 minutes later, FBI kicks in your door and like kills you.
Yeah.
You pulled a hate crime. No, I didn't. You lost the black guy. Says the black FBI. I didn't shoot.
You killed ethnics on Grand Theft Auto 5. I'm sorry.
I killed everyone else too. Does that count? Wrong. You're gonna be arrested for mass murder.
Oh my gosh.
So I think that sounds like we're about done with this.
Yeah, unless you guys go ahead.
Two games I want to talk about first.
No, you don't.
I will murder you.
Bitch, bring it.
I was gonna ask that too if anybody
Security
else had anything
intervention.
First one, Destiny. That looks amazing.
I actually didn't see the gameplay, but I hear it looked amazing.
It's
heard of that
think
game.
of Borderlands in a persistent world.
And make it
kind
serious.
of like Red Dead.
No,
and then make it
persistent
serious.
world. What do they mean by persistent
Like
world?
Red Dead's online lobby.
Okay.
Ooh.
That's the place where we just join up and fuck shit up.
Really?
That is in essence.
So that's what they meant by persistent world.
Yeah, that's pretty much the best analog you could say for it. It really, the way that it looked, it looks like it's pretty much Borderlands or Dead Island, where you can kill a boss, you get loot, you go through, do missions, and then
But a hell of a lot more serious than Borderlands.
yes, and then people can just jump in lobbies with, like, let's say.
So it's World of Warcraft but Destiny.
Yeah, honestly, I don't
But
understand.
when I first saw the trailers for it, I thought, what was it? Star Wars meets Red Dead Redemption.
So wait, so it's an MMO but on a console.
MMO, it's yes.
So has that really been done before?
No, not really. Like
well,
I said, the closest
considering
analog,
massively multiplayer online, that's all MMO means.
Yeah.
Yeah, it has been done before with
But
Call
on
of
a
Duty.
console.
But with Call of Duty,
let's
and
say-
with Red Dead, because that's a massive amount.
Okay, let's go back to the whole. It's a World of Warcraft type game.
Okay.
Has a game like that ever been done on a console?
MMORPG.
There was one.
Say it.
Final Fantasy 11 was the only one that did that, and that failed horribly.
Why didn't you know about that? What the hell?
That's one
It
of the
was
few Final
like-
Fantasies I haven't played.
It is like one of the first PS3 launch titles, I think, and it died.
That's why I didn't
quick.
play it, because I heard how bad it was.
Oh.
I heard the game was bad. I didn't know what the game was
bad.
about, though.
Yeah, that's
Hey, everybody has their hit and misses, okay?
It's
Shut the
true.
fuck up.
It's true. And
Fallout. Yeah, Fallout
Let's see.
really has
Let's
it.
see. Modern Warfare 3.
That was
Black Ops.
Oh, Black Ops was good.
It was
Black Ops is-
okay.
yeah,
Black Ops was good because dolphin diving.
yeah.
That was like the best
I
thing
was entirely
in the
used to
entire world.
That's the most revolutionary
All I
thing.
did was dolphin dive. Like, who gives a
That's
shit?
the most revolutionary thing Call of Duty's done in the past 4 games.
Yeah, and I know in the new Call of Duty they said, well, when you swim towards the fishes, they swim away.
And then,
Like,
did you see that video
Yeah,
where they
it's
said
like
that, and then they went to
Nintendo-
Mario? Yeah, they went to
fucking-
Super Mario on the Nintendo 64, and it was just like a 3-minute video of Mario swimming underwater and fish moving away from him.
great job.
Good job. Good job, Call of Duty.
On Black Ops, if you've ever played online with me, I will either be really good or really bad. If I was really bad, I guarantee it's because I did nothing but run around the map and dolphin dive.
Yeah, see, what's really
Entire
fun to
mission.
do is get Juggernog on Black Ops 2 and go to the town and then dolphin dive out of the bar.
Yes.
Or down the stairs.
Absolutely.
You had one more game you were excited about?
Titanfall. That looks
Looks legit.
Looks pretty good, but it reminds me of that PlayStation 3 game that came out. What? Planet?
Lost Planet?
No,
Lost
that-
Planet. It reminds me
Oh,
of
okay.
Lost Planet because it's got the same feel. It's the third person with the.
I have another
mech.
game
no,
I'm
it's
excited
not.
about.
It's all first person.
I like-
even in the mechs.
Is it?
Even in the mechs.
I think the mechs are third person.
No, it's not. Mechs are first person. You are literally in the mech, and there's lines on the screen that dictate where your monitors are.
That's cool.
Yeah,
Interesting.
and
Now-
the coolest thing that I saw, it was like it was either a story or it was online. I don't know what. Dude was fighting one mech. His mech seriously damaged. He did like ejector seat out. Flew up, landed on the enemy mech, ripped out a control casing, and just shot it up to destroy it.
That's pretty cool.
I'm not a huge fan of mechs.
Yeah, that's
One
the
thing,
only other thing.
one other game I'm excited for is The Division.
I haven't
Tom
heard of that
Clancy's
one.
Yes,
The Division.
yes,
Yes.
Yes, at first I was like, is that what that game is?
To be
called?
honest, I don't think I've ever played a Tom Clancy game I didn't like.
It's well,
More
one Tom Clancy.
weird.
Like,
Tom Clancy books are amazing. So
Yes.
I love reading Tom Clancy books. And you're right. I've yet to see a
Endgame,
Tom.
I did not
Endgame
like so much.
Was it not
Of
good?
what? Of
It
what?
was
Tom
weird
Clancy's
because
Endgame?
it was
But look
I
at
never
trying
played
to
it.
do what the Kinect does now, where it's
Okay.
like voice commands through your headset telling
Yeah.
your units to where to go.
See,
but
when I think
that-
of Tom
but-
Clancy games,
but-
I immediately go to Splinter Cell.
when you say it's bad, it's not the
I'm
fact
wrong,
that maybe
Splinter
the story wasn't bad. It's just that the mechanics were
The mechanics
off.
were a little off because
Actually,
it was all
really
about.
Maybe they tried to
love
do too much on it.
No, it was
Everyone
more of
likes
like
Splinter
they
Cell
tried to play it off as a
No,
limited
no, that's
RTS,
like-
where it's like you have X amount of units, you can't get any more respawn-ins. And you hunt around to take out the enemy. Now, the one thing that I hate about this is that, like, I'm going to move here, my enemy's going to move here, we're going to do this continual
Yeah.
dance around each other. It's can last forever and ever, and I will end your life.
But yeah,
I was doing that already.
The Division looked amazing.
Yeah.
Because I just watched the trailer, I think it was this
looks
morning.
really good. It does. I'm looking forward to it. But yeah, they kind of just going back to Tom Clancy. I didn't play Endgame, but other than that, every other Tom Clancy game I've played,
Josh and
been
I were
amazing.
talking about Splinter Cell Conviction.
Yeah.
We love it, but a lot of people don't like it.
Is there a new one? Is there a new one coming out? Has that come out yet? Was it Blacklist? Or,
yeah, there's new Splinter Cell.
was it? Is it? It's Blacklist, isn't it?
Yeah, it's either Blacklist or something else. But
I did not hear about this
Blacklist.
I want to say it's Blacklist, and from what I've seen, it looks good.
It looks pretty cool.
I'm also looking forward to Arkham Origins coming out.
I am.
Iffy.
I had fun with Arkham City, so
Arkham City was fun.
Arkham City was fun, especially if you were me and got the Game of the Year edition and decided to play around entirely in the Batman Beyond suit.
I played.
Oh my god, you can do that?
Yeah.
I went in as
That's
Nightwing.
awesome.
Oh, okay. Nightwing, I was all of the days.
Yes.
Because if you know me, I love Nightwing. Dick Grayson is the best of my favorites.
One game they're coming out with, but I wish they were coming out for the PlayStation and the Xbox, and they might do it because Minecraft did the same thing. Was DayZ,
Yes.
the Arma mod? It's the most realistic zombie simulator you'll ever play.
I've seen that before. That looks really cool.
It's Arma 2.
I want to try it.
It's an Arma 2 mod called DayZ, and basically what it is you're playing Arma 2, except you have the addition of zombies, and when you start, all you start with, I think, is a can of beans and a pistol. And you go around scavenging.
That's pretty cool.
And
Yes.
don't use the pistol because loud noises.
Now, it was so popular they eventually made it a standalone game now. It's
Really?
coming out for PC as a standalone game.
Wow.
And what I'm hoping is
I need to get a better
what I'm
PC.
hoping is that they pull a Minecraft where they're like, hey, you guys want to play it on?
That's what they're doing.
yes,
That's what
yes,
they're doing.
1,000
Yes,
times.
definitely.
Yes.
That's what they're doing with World of Tanks. That's
Yeah.
going to be free.
Yeah, that's
Is that
gonna be cool.
RTS?
No, actually,
good.
it's like you jump.
You
You
don't
are
like
a
RTS
tank.
games?
Not for the most
You're a
part.
tank in
There's a
World War
couple
II.
Mm-hmm.
You drive around and blow people
But
up.
just
It's
not on
extremely
console.
popular. It's one of the best free games I've ever
I heard it's a fun game.
Oh, yeah.
But I'm really hoping the creators of DayZ realize how much money they can make if they change it, if they take it to the console. And
Yeah.
I mean, I talked to my friends about before. Like, I don't know, it seems kind of complicated. I don't know if it would be able to support it. They simplified Minecraft, and they made it really easy to craft things and to transfer
Imagine
things
if it came
over.
with Xbox 360.
You mean the Xbox One?
No, I mean the 360.
360 before the X1 comes out.
Yeah.
What?
DayZ. I would buy it.
Me too.
Hands down, I would
And then
buy
like
it.
me and Jake, all the days. Zombies!
That would become, but
It'd
they
be the
kind
next Dead
of,
Island.
from what I've heard, they've kind of come out with a game like that already as State of Decay. I haven't
Yeah.
played
yeah.
it yet, but I hear it's
Yeah.
fun. I hear it's really fun. I'm
Yeah,
thinking
I
about
wanna
buying
get
the
that.
next.
We need to get that, and then if there's multiplayer,
There
our
is.
zombie team needs to reunite.
Yes, they do.
All right.
But I think that's it for right now.
Sounds about
you
it.
guys,
Like,
Really? Again?
One
No,
more
content.
game.
There's
and it's a
content.
few to skim over, and that was like, I mean, we did already Battlefield 4, but the multiplayer trailer.
what's that to
really
say about Battlefield 4 that
scripted.
hasn't already been?
Yeah.
It was what?
The multiplayer trailer looked incredibly scripted.
You want to talk about scripted real quick? Are we going to talk about the scripted trash talking that was going on with the Xbox One press conference? So bad.
Yeah.
So bad.
Oh.
Like they were doing a Street Fighter, or like it wasn't a Street Fighter game. It was just a fighting game, and like they were supposed to be trash talking, but you could tell it was scripted, and they were doing it so like monotone. And we're understanding like really, like no one believes this is real.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was it was really bad. It just added just more shit to the Xbox One.
What
press.
about Watch Dogs?
Is that already out?
No,
It's
it's
not.
it's going to be a launch title for the PS4
Yeah.
and the X and probably the X1, and because it's going to be cross-platform. But yes, it's going to be amazing.
Yeah, and-
you know, there's going to be some kind of allusion to Abstergo and Assassin's Creed.
Oh, I hope to God there will be.
I skimmed over an article. It's apparently supposed to be Desmond Miles' story. I can't remember how much the article said, but like
Wait,
they
what
changed
are we
it.
on now?
They changed
Watch
it last
Dogs.
second from Desmond Miles supposed to be in it to its own title.
I think it would have been cool if it was Desmond Miles, honestly.
Desmond
Well,
Miles. The only thing I like
Dead,
about him
it's
is
gonna-
Desmond
no.
Miles has no personality.
It's rumored Desmond Miles is still alive.
Okay, well, fuck that.
And that's gonna
We
be
all saw him
kill
kill himself.
That's gonna be shown.
I
in
think
AC4.
there needs to be a
Speaking of AC4,
Jason
Black
Doherty
Flag.
reference.
Black Flag. It's gonna be so good.
Oh my!
See, now I think because like I've played the other Assassin's Creed games except for 3, and I haven't really found one that really like fits for me. And I think Black Flag's gonna be
It's
it.
pirates.
Pirates! I love pirates.
There's
so
not
much.
There's not an overall. From what I understand, there's not an overall theme of trying to overthrow, like evil like the other ones. And there's not it's like you're just a pirate who's also an assassin on the side.
Right.
That's kind of cool.
I'm really looking forward to the naval battles, to be completely honest.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was
for me.
my
I think it would be
favorite
cool
part.
if you could actually upgrade your ship from like a sloop of war to like a ship of the line.
Yeah.
Which would be, I think, would be a very interesting mechanic.
To me, it's definitely the seamless. They've mentioned seamless open world between ship and land.
Mm-hmm.
That to me takes
Yes. Apparently, there's no loading screens on it either.
I did hear
It's supposed to be just one giant map you can.
There's an app for it as well. So if
There's an app for
let's
that.
say Aaron, if you're playing Assassin's Creed 4, right,
Uh-huh.
and Aaron jumps on her iPhone and
Yeah.
she can pull up a map
Uh-huh.
while you're on your ship, and she can say, okay, go here. This is where you need to go.
Oh,
and
you
then-
mean like for the Fable anniversary? They did that.
So is that gonna be is that gonna come with smart glass? Or is that gonna be like a smart glass thing? Or is
I
that gonna
don't
be for?
honestly, I have no idea. I just saw that.
But no,
as part of
I'm
it.
looking for the naval interaction too because that grew on me in AC3. When I first started doing it, I was like, But
Yeah.
then it's like,
At first, I was like, naval? No. Avoid
and then it got
at all
really cool.
costs, and
It
then
got
it's
really
like,
cool.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. So as always, Ubisoft is gonna come out with
Yeah.
some great games. I want to know if they're gonna come out with another Far Cry. It'd be hard to top Far Cry 3.
There
What
would
if Watch
definitely
Dogs
be a
has some
wait.
references?
It
I
probably
think
will.
Watch Dogs is just going to have, like, references upon references.
Out the ass.
Yeah, because it's...
It looks like just the way it looks like it's set in the AC universe with the technology in it and
does.
stuff. I wouldn't be surprised if maybe not like blatantly out there references, but you might like how you can scan people and find out their stuff. Watch it be like one is like he worked for Abstergo, like an Abstergo developer or something.
And
like
we
that.
know that Far Cry 3 is in the same universe because of the DLC
Yes.
that had a reference to... Was it Abstergo?
Yeah, it was Abstergo, and it was Subject 16.
Yes.
And then they also had a BioShock reference, which was weird since it's not Ubisoft.
Well, they also had a Dune reference in Fallout.
Dune doesn't count. Dune is a book.
Yeah, it's a great book series.
I know, but it doesn't count in terms of video game references.
But no, yeah, they had a BioShock one. It's I think it was achievement. And it was Would You Kindly?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you also heard Ryan. You also heard
Atlas.
Atlas's voice say something like, "Would you kindly flip that switch to activate something?" And so like that was their little reference, which was surprising because BioShock's not Ubisoft.
Yeah.
Heck, Fallout New Vegas had a Bioshock reference.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, if you killed Mr. House with a 9-iron,
Mhm.
it would be the achievement was a man chooses a slave obeys.
Yep. But yeah, other than that, I think that
wraps it up.
I think that about wraps it up.
covered.
I mean,
Unless Pockets has another thing to say.
One more thing.
I'm like, okay, Uncle.
could you say that he would pull it out of his pocket?
There's the door.
Get out of my home.
You knew it was funny. Laugh. See, Pockets liked it. Thanks, Pockets.
That was like that.
That was the
scripted
worst
trash
thing
talk.
ever. All right, well,
Yeah.
I think that means it's about time to sign out.
We have a special kind of podcast for next week's.
Oh, we do?
We do. Josh had
Shit,
received
do I know what this is?
a tabletop.
Yes, I do.
A tabletop game called Gloom. We'll go into more about the rules and the story behind it on the next podcast. But the tabletop card game, you get really creative with it, and so that's what our next podcast is going to be. And we'll have.
We might, in fact, do a video of it. It's
might.
possible. We'll talk about it.
But yeah, we'll be sure to have more guests too. So that's what you guys get to look forward to is some tabletop stuff, which is new for me.
Yeah, and we don't have a mod of the week this week, but I'm bringing two next week.
Yes. So thank you to our Pockets for coming back and adding great content. Kai Sapp,
Thank you,
as always, it was great talking to you.
And thank you, Aaron, for providing security.
They will all be back, whether they're on a podcast or running security or something. They'll be back on, and you'll be getting more content from them. So as for this week, it's time to go, Josh.
All right. Peace out.
Bye.